And we are live. The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old.
So I have a 3-year-old, a 6-year-old, this podcast, and many other podcasts. I'm all over the place.
Ooh, look at you.
Now, not quite. It is at least a guest spot. I was very honored recently to be on the Your Inner Nerd podcast. Uh, Wonderful episode. Just had an absolute blast talking to the guys there. So really great conversation. And the episode just went live. Your Inner Nerd. Uh, Looks like it's 51 minutes, and felt like half an hour. Just it was an absolute joy to speak to him, and we covered every possible range of dad gaming, gaming as a dad, just video games in general. Like touched D&D for a little bit. Like just it was
Oh, wow.
across the board. So incredibly honored, and thank you so much for that. The He might have found us on Twitter because what's been great recently is all the interaction we've been having with fans. Isn't that right, Jeff?
Yeah, just this past week we had a lovely shout out from one of our listeners of the show, Ben Pieface Miller, who's at Chrysolite Stone, and he's one of our Twitter followers, and he gave us a shout out along with a very good friend of the show, Story Mode PC podcast. So it was nice to interact with fans online, just to drop us a question, comment, shout out, and just know that we'll get back to you and interact with you. And we're here as dads to give our dad advice. So, no, it was good to see.
Yeah, we are packed to the gills with dad jokes,
Yeah,
dad advice,
all
dad
the
gaming
time.
tips. But yeah, I got to say, Twitter really has been, and all of our social in general, but like Twitter's been phenomenal for interacting back and forth with a bunch of really interesting folks, gaming dad tips and tricks. I know, Jeff, you had a really great couple sessions about Gundam and some of the recent models with a fan of ours too.
Yes. We've had lots of Gundam followers because of they've inspired a new hobby of mine. So that is great when we have Demat giving me Gundams to build. Um,
Nice.
so
Gun,
no,
Gundam,
it,
Envy, frankly, because his are quite good.
yeah, no. Again, hobby suggestions, game suggestions, we're here for it.
Yeah. So hey, find us on Twitter, everybody. It's been fantastic. It's a great dad community at New Dad Gaming. But we moved from one social media to another one where your dad's truly got into a whole world of trouble. So
We got sent to our rooms. So
yeah, we got grounded, everybody,
yeah.
by Daddy YouTube. So it's a bit of a back office banter, but Jeff and I were just laughing. We thought everybody might enjoy it. So we got our first content strike on YouTube because of our conversation about buying Beyblades in a back alley.
Right. Well, Beyblades are very popular, so maybe YouTube just doesn't want us to talk about it.
Yeah. We're just asking questions. No,
Yeah.
so a couple episodes ago, you might remember my kid for his birthday received Beyblades, was adoring it. It was like, and I wanted to get him a few more, so I bought them online. Vis-a-vis, of course, gaming dads decided to go into joke mode and talk about, oh, let's go buy some illegal Beyblades in the back alley from somebody online. Ha ha ha
Yeah.
ha ha.
Who's laughing now?
We get this email from YouTube saying, hey, New Dad Gaming, just to let you know, your content's been taken down because of the illicit drug policy,
Yep.
or sorry, illicit drug and activity policy of our terms and conditions. So your content is been taken down. No one can ever see it. If you'd like to refute it, you can just follow this link and send us a letter as to why you think we should put it back on.
I know, like but again, we're dads. We don't have the time to fill out a form, so it was very difficult to go down and give all the details. But I think it's a good badge of honor, just for the show, to get our
Yeah.
first, little takedown notice.
A first strike. And I'll say it's very, anyone who's watching the live stream or sees the video later on YouTube or Twitch or our Facebook page, we're watching ourselves talk about Beyblades in that episode.
It's amazing.
So this is a very meta show. But my favorite part of the entire story was the fact that I had to write to YouTube.
Yep.
It's like, hey, this is Trevor from New Dad Gaming. My fellow gaming dad and I were discussing buying kids' toys off of the marketplace and how, ha ha, joke, joke, it's kind of like buying from illegal dealers in back alleys.
Right.
I think you can see that because it is a used child's toy, it's not exactly the illicit material you're worried about. Please, can you put up our video? I'm just trying to imagine like the reviewer receives it like, why would like, that's not funny? Why are they talking about this?
Why would I watch this? Why would I even listen? I don't get it. What's a Beyblade?
Is this a joke? Like that's how people joke? Like really? So anyway, small note. I just found it infinitely funny, and I loved writing the email asking YouTube to please release our illicit Beyblade content. So
Well, again, it was a good conversation here, and I mentioned it to my kids because we have Beyblades, and
that's right.
I said if you don't play with them, I have this podcast that you know about, and my co-host would really like them because his kids want. No, they ran downstairs, they got out all the Beyblades, they're still sitting out on the floor. I don't know if they played with them, but they left evidence to say, hey, we still play with this because we're not giving it away. So maybe next show I'll scoop them up and give them to you, and you guys can have some fun. Because
that is such a kid move, and I'll say we actually kind of hit something similar because we recently were trying to pack up for a move, trying to get rid of all the old cruff. Here's a bunch of toys we don't play with, or this baby toys, we don't need this stuff. Put them away into a box, put that box aside. Like, what box do you think they've been playing with all week? Right? Like,
that's just a given. Yeah.
Like, come on, you have not touched these toys
Yeah.
for months, and this is a baby toy.
Yeah.
Like this is a pacifier. Why? What are you doing with this? But it never fails. It's like as soon as it's going to be taken away, it becomes the point of biggest interest. And it looks like I'm going to be suffering a bit because now your kids have discovered a new interest in Beyblades. So it looks like no new ones are coming into my house because of it.
No, you're going to get a bag full just on your front lawn. Here you go. Thanks for nothing.
Just make sure it's not on lawnmower day, and I might miss it and get real chippy with it. So speaking of other games and playing games with kids, it is the end of an era, folks. It is like it's all downhill from here. New dad has suffered a loss. I have legitimately lost at Mario Kart to my son.
No.
Now, I don't know how to feel. He's 6, and he's not very good at it. So I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel about it. But this was, I mean, I did not take my foot off the gas. I did not let up. And towards the end, I was trying to get back in first place, and I could not. It was an out, and I can't even call it. I won't even call it particularly cheap. You know, sometimes it'll be blue shell,
Yeah.
red, banana, and you just lose it. Or sorry, this is Mario Kart, the most recent one. So the way it goes now is blue shell,
Yes.
blue shell,
Yes.
red, banana, and then you lose.
Right. Bullet bill and first place. So.
Yeah, so which by the way, I cannot stand how many blue shells are in this damn game. It's so upsetting.
End of an era, though, for you. I don't know how you get back into this game knowing that you are now no longer undefeated. I will take up the reign of undefeated dad in Mario Kart.
Hold on, you've never lost at Mario Kart 2?
Not in Mario Kart. I may be called a Minecraft noob, but I have never lost in Mario Kart. So
I don't want to say you're a liar, Jeff, but I don't know any other
blue
words.
blue shell. That's that's how I roll.
Okay. Legitimately, you've never lost to your kid at Mario Kart?
No, on purpose. On purpose, I've lost to them.
Well, of course, but I mean, like you've never, when trying, you've never lost.
No, and maybe this is a good chance to do a video on me playing one of my kids or both kids. I'll take them both on. How about that? I'll take both on.
I dare you. Let's see this.
I will record it, and it won't be like the 50th try. Let's make this look good. It will be legit.
Real talk.
Let's go.
See, I would wonder if we did an online game, me versus you versus your kids.
Okay.
Given the high dad bar you've set for how good you are, does that
right.
translate into your kids, where your kids are going to mop the floor with me? So it's going to be like Jeff, 2 of Jeff's kids, apparently my kid, and then then Dad Trevor in last place.
It would be funny to actually do that, to hook it all up, and then we just all of us lose to the kids. They're the ones taking the podium, and we're off, going the wrong way on a course or something, and just showing our true colors.
Yeah. Okay,
One
so
day.
say I'd ask if you lose at Minecraft, but that's not how Minecraft works. Like, is there no game your kids consistently beat you at? So Mario Kart, okay, Jeff's a pro. I get it. What
Um,
is there a competitive game like Smash? Like,
Smash, I've definitely lost in, and
okay,
yeah, I mean, mashing buttons, that's going to win sometimes. So that's what happens. But I've definitely lost in Smash. Can we can't So does friendly fire count? I don't know. Like because I lost a couple games to friendly fire.
Hmm.
We've had that on for a while. So maybe that counts as a loss, and
Yeah,
I'm
some
lying through
small.
my teeth. So
All right. I'm curious just how it proceeds. Where with the young dexterity and just their penchant for the digital space, is it inevitable that 3 years, 5 years time, I just never get to beat them in a game again?
it could be like this is it. Like they're just
First
they
blood, and it's all downhill.
they're too quick for you, and now they know that they can do it, so they're gonna do it again.
I gotta say, I'm almost kind of interested in it though. Where if it was like a first person shoot, let's say they get a bit older and like you're playing Halo multiplayer. If you're
Yep.
playing, uh, pick your poison, whatever you want to be. Bomberman playing,
Ooh, Bomberman's a good one.
right?
Rocket
Like,
League. Oh, Rocket League. Yeah.
oh man, Rocket League, that'd be fantastic. So any of the games that you want to play kind of competitively, kind of recapturing for myself would be, me versus my brother or me versus my friends.
Right.
Tony Hawk. If you're ever able to convince your kids to play Tony Hawk again,
Yeah. Yeah.
can you imagine a legitimate competitive session with your kids where you're hopefully in a very friendly sort of way competing and trying to win? Because right now it's very much like, okay, let's play this together, but
Yeah.
you're hand holding it, you're letting them take some wins because it's all just for fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But are you excited? Have you ever thought about that prospect where
Like
eventually it's
a
actually going to be their true gaming buddy in the sense that they're an equal as opposed to a handicap?
I think that would be a pretty cool like development as a gaming dad, just to have that kind of bond too, right? Where you can again, no hands tied behind your back. Let's play this game. If you beat me, that's just a testament to your skill, right? And I think it's a testament to us raising great little
it's a win-win.
gamers.
It is
So,
win-win.
right, win or lose, really. I mean, it works out for us. But no, I think that's a good way to look at it. I think if as they get older and a little bit more older, mature games, and having that competition would be really interesting instead of, I don't know, just letting them once in a while. I know my youngest would not go for it. He will maybe burn down the house. I'm not sure, but he does not like to lose. My oldest, it's okay,
Okay.
but yeah, so it'll be different.
Can't wait. You're going to get to feel pride either way. It's either pride, haha,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm still man of the house and I won a video game, or it's pride, my young man's coming up. He's doing
right.
it. Taking
making-
after the old tree, the old man.
Just making those gaming memories, whether for good or bad in their eyes.
And that's when the family fell apart. What have I told you about blue shells in this house?
We never ever waste them. You always use them.
Now, making family gaming memories. You might remember from last episode, Jeff had planned to watch the E3 event with his kids. I found this absolutely fascinating. The thought that you could actually experience, all the excitement of new games, that old E3 charm shared with your little one. So
Yeah.
how did it go down? Did it actually happen?
Short story, no, it did not happen.
Why did I? Okay, leading up to this podcast,
I had you going saying it went well, didn't I? Like,
yeah,
it
because
was
I would not have
amazing.
played up the intro to this
Nope,
for grandiose of a minute of me setting up and oh no, it didn't happen. It sucked.
no, it.
Cool, thanks, brother.
Yeah, no, it didn't happen. I wanted to get that reaction out of you, but
I
no,
did,
I was prepared for this to happen. I was prepared. Like they were ready to go.
I was prepared to be disappointed.
They seemed interested in it. We set a timer on some of the showcases we wanted to see. So One was Xbox and Bethesda, just to see what they had in terms of games. Which we sat down, we got some. I think it was hot dogs. We made hot dogs for lunch. We
Hey,
came
nice.
inside, we had the TV set up, and sat down, ready to watch. And immediately, like 5 minutes in, like after I think the first reveal was Starfield, they're like, "No, I'm gonna go outside." I'm like, "Well, how do I turn down?
Yeah.
No, you can't go outside. You can't do that. You need to sit here with me."
You,
Um,
you will stay and watch videos
yeah,
about trailers for games you can't play for a year.
for years. Yeah. So they weren't too interested in the Xbox One. I'm like, okay, I will give them that one. I watched the rest on and off by myself. I'm not crying or anything. But then I thought maybe Nintendo. Maybe Nintendo will change them.
Right.
Right? That's like kind of right up their alley. There's going to be a new Mario Kart. I could feel it. It's going to happen. So we get to that one, and they're like, oh, this is not. I don't know why we watch all these trailers and nothing's coming out. I'm like, oh, you know what? I understand your pain because a lot of this stuff won't come out, but they did enjoy some of the Nintendo stuff, and that's probably the best part where we've shared those moments
Okay.
at an E3. It was just Nintendo driven, which I'm not sure, does that qualify as E3? It's a Nintendo Direct on E3 weekend ish, so
Yeah,
maybe
it
that's a win. I don't know.
feels like they were very specifically targeting that time frame. They could have gone a week after. They could have gone a month later.
True.
You know what I mean? So it really does feel like they're trying to be of the
Yeah.
excitement around E3 to capture families who might be watching,
Right. They were
tuning in like yourself.
targeting me. Yes.
Okay, so that feels like a win then. So your kids got into the Nintendo portion.
Yes. And
Okay, so
it's structured very differently than the other conferences. Like they do the little snap thing, they go to a game, quick little intro, they come out, snap to another game, so it's a little bit, maybe it's just that snappy feel to them too, with obviously the Marios and Warios that were presented that they fell in love with. So they're ready for every single game that Nintendo showed they want. So thanks, Nintendo.
you're super excited to just purchase every single one at $80 a shot.
Every single one, including the new Mario Party, which is another $80-$90, which should be just an add-on. But let's not get into that because that is Nintendo tax. You want a Nintendo game, it's this price.
Yeah. Now the one thing that they did introduce, which was fascinating, I thought, was the Legend of Zelda Game and Watch.
Yes, that was a neat little. It's like
So
a trinket. Can I call it a trinket? I don't
you
know.
can absolutely call it a trinket. Like it would feel like you'd buy this at the checkout
Right?
of a
Yes.
Canadian Tire department store.
One of those
right?
little spindles. You're like, hey, look,
Basically.
this little Game and Watch. Yeah.
So it's you find tiny little handhelds that have 50 to 100 ROMs on Amazon for 30-40 bucks. The official Nintendo Game and Watch, the Legend of Zelda version, which has Zelda 1 to
Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening, right? The Game Boy
Yeah.
one.
And I think that's it.
And I think like some sort of like throwback Game and Watch thing.
Yes, with
where
the
it's,
clock or whatever. Or oh no, the actual. What is
yeah,
it?
the
Two
actual
color.
like, Game and Watch games.
Yeah.
Which, fine. That I do find it charming. Like I think the visiting the
Yeah.
Link's Awakening, the original Legend of Zelda, that actually would be very interesting to me. I think because I just was not adept enough at that time back in Nintendo days to actually beat it. So it'd be kind of fun to like
Right.
visit that, and I do find the hardware charming.
Well,
Right.
like you were saying, you were calling Nintendo right for your E3 prediction to release Game Boy
So
SP
They got so
with 50
close.
games. You got three. You got 3.5.
On the wrong hardware though too. Like it's
Yeah.
close.
I
It's the
mean,
right size. It's the right kind of shape.
yeah. You can give yourself that one.
I'll take. I'm halfway there. I came in too late. See, they had to prepare for it. This my
Right,
prediction.
right.
The
Next-
SP will
next year.
be next E3.
Right.
What was very depressing about it, frankly, was could have been predicted. We've talked about it a few times on this show now, but it's just consoles have been ruined. Consoles and fun things that we enjoy, are nostalgic about, want to play and have fun with and want to share with our kids are ruined because the very predictable thing happened where scalpers came in, bought up the entire supply, and it's immediately right onto eBay for double the price.
Oh yeah. They were up on sale, I think, as they were showing them. And then by the time you're done watching, they're already gone. So much like the consoles, like you said, PS5s and Xboxes, even Nintendo Switches, you get sold out, and then you're looking at scalper prices. And it happened with this Game & Watch one, and it happened with the new Metroid that's coming out. There's a special edition for that one. All sold out, all gone. No point even looking.
Like from a gaming dad's perspective, like they really, wrong way to phrase that. From a gaming dad perspective, we really have to hope that they figure this out. That these consoles and these trinkets, these items like that could bring great joy, start to go to people who actually want it, right? And not just dads. Like that's not the angle. I just mean, at least from us gaming dads, and I'm sure anybody who enjoys games feels the same way. This predictable outcome where, okay, this console launches, scalpers come up, quadruple the price. It's people hustling. This sucks.
Yeah.
Right. And like, because, Xbox is going to launch a special edition Xbox Series X with this color. Like, what's your first immediate thought when I say that?
Oh, it's gone. It's sold out. One. Like, that's it. It's gone. So
They just have to, like, I really just want them to figure it out for the good of
humanity.
what.
I will say I saw something kind of cool at I think it was called Microstation. It's a gaming store in the US. And because of the 3D cards shortage, because everybody's scalping 3D cards, right? Mainly for, mining Bitcoins. But they introduced a 30-day policy. So only one person that's verified under their driver's license can buy one card in 30 days. So maybe that don't make it worth the scalpers' time, because I imagine a lot of them have to do multiple to make it worth their while. I mean,
Yeah, true. Or at least, like, I still think there's enough people doing doubles, because I've known some people who, at least if they could get two, they would buy two and then sell the second one almost at double, so they're kind of making their money back on the first.
right.
It is when you say that, that's such a bizarre thought. In some ways, it's almost a return. The best, safest way to do it is almost a return back to physical stores.
Yeah.
Because if you want to buy this, you have to go to this physical location, and you can have every human can have two.
Right.
So it just cuts it out. So if the scalper wants to have some elaborate system of like 40 humans that they're going to pay off, maybe. But man, is EB Games about to have a renaissance?
Yeah, they're going to come back because of this and because we suggested it. But yeah, they'll have those lineups that happen, which I always love to see. And I think we talked about it too, having that kind of experience with your kids, maybe lining up one time for a really cool game and just going through that process instead of just waiting for that URL to refresh and click. But yeah, it totally could happen where everybody's back to brick and mortar stores. That's where you find those, special editions, these kind of Game & Watch systems. They're not sold online as much.
Well, even for imagine that happens with the next console launch. So the Xbox,
can you imagine?
the PS6, that's just easier to say. The PS6 launches,
Yeah.
and it is not sold online. You cannot purchase it online. You have to go to a store to get it. Now, I do worry that that really ruins some accessibility, in the sense that if you're in small town, middle of nowhere, well,
right.
Good luck. You're not going to ever get it. So I don't like that part of it. But I do like, the thought that perhaps it's that push towards, no, you want it, you got to go into the store. And that's going to help build excitement around it and try to prevent scalpers.
I mean, gaming dads are probably up late night anyway. So why not wait in a line with a crying baby and have all the other people go home because they don't want to be there. So you're
Depends on the age, because it's either new gaming dad, which is like exhausted crying baby, or like you're up all night with a crying baby, doesn't work, or it's toddler gaming dad where you get to 9 o'clock and you just are dead.
Yeah.
And you cannot wait to hit the pillow.
So
Depends on, or like later gaming dad, we have teenagers, but again, maybe you're exhausted, you're probably older, you're ready for sleep. So it depends on which part of the gaming dad scale you fall on.
Yeah, we should at least do one of these per phase so we can report back. So
Okay.
just give it us another 5-10 years.
Okay, we'll write the book. Now, I just wanted to throw this one out there. It was a really interesting, yeah, type out a banner. It was the Playdate. So perfect,
yeah.
perfect name for gaming dads. But in seeing the Game and Watch from Nintendo, that cute tiny console form factor with a bunch of tiny games made me think of this little yellow thing. So I don't know if anybody has seen it who is listening. So it's a little play. You might have recognized it because it is a Game Boy-esque looking thing that has a physical crank
Yes.
on the side of it that is used for gameplay. So there's some games where I saw, you have to like wind up a rope. One is like you use it to kind of peek under a flap to see if the person who's going to enter is suitable or the right person you're looking for. It's all these like charming, cute things. It's a subscription model. Sorry, I got to take that back. I don't want to say subscription model. It's
Hopefully not, yeah.
the games are releasing weekly after you purchase it. So one game a week for up to, let's call it like 50 games are releasing. This thing is so fascinating. Like it looks like such a unique take on gaming that it's hard not to get interested and purchase it.
Yeah. Like it is interesting.
That does not sound calm. I don't think you agree with me.
I think for the price point, it's a little, well, I guess,
Fair. Yeah.
but it is what it is, right? So I think you're paying for this, like something that's super custom and super just off the wall creative. No other experience like it, really. So you just pay that premium price for something like that, which I can see. And again, that's valid for whoever wants to purchase that. But it is a neat idea. I am not going to get one, but if you get one, maybe I could try it out.
There you go. I'll trade you some Beyblades for it.
That's right. Yeah, we'll do a little switcheroo just in the back. So
What I'd have a problem with is the nature of how games get onto it. So
how does
so it's currently said season 1. I'm not exactly sure if it's going to do, and this is where with Game Pass and game streaming, Nintendo's almost archaic style of releasing ROMs and Nintendo tax on pricing. It's an interesting space for how people price and sell games. Playdate is going to have what they call season 1. In season 1, there will be some 50 odd games released weekly, and I think you get 12 out the hopper. Imagine that scenario where this little tiny handheld console for the next 4 years, let's give them 4 years of success. Every week there's just a new little game. And they're not ephemeral. They don't go away. So you still have the whole library, but every week there's kind of something new. So next year, it's, the game developers have just come up with this kind of new interesting concept, this little time waster. And once a week, you're just kind of consuming it on this digital, unique hardware.
Yeah, I think if that happens, I could see that being a kind of a cool way to play it, especially if you get to keep, like if the seasons went away and all those games are wiped. Again, I'm not sure. They obviously don't look like they take a lot of space in this thing. But if over 4 years' time, if we give them that as a kind of that period, I think you could end up with something that is not only valuable if you wanted to resell it, but a kind of cool little trinket even for the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just the novelty of it and like the throwback nature of it, the restrictions of it, plus the weird, almost like Nintendo style, just let's throw this thing into the gaming mix and see what people do with it.
You just convince your kids this is the Game Boy. You're like, this is the Game Boy. You had to crank it back in my day.
This is the new Switch. We don't need to buy a new one.
It costs much as a Switch, so who knows?
Yeah, I'm just kind of a sucker for, especially this type of hardware, which just looks so beautiful. And it's, as much as I do like the game streaming, and
you really like squares. Just sorry to interrupt. You just really like the form factor of a square. I think that's just what turns your crank for this. It's just the square.
You seem to have a weird affinity for ugly squares. Like, what's your?
Well, like what we had with comments on Twitter, like it's not the most ergonomic shape. Like who holds a square in their hands? Well, Trevor. So
Yeah, I don't. Suppose it's the novelty. It's the aesthetics of the form factor, which yeah, like I'm kind of into that retro tech,
yeah,
and the a new take on the delivery model of games just always seems interesting. So, which is funny to parallel that against what we were just talking about of hey, let's all force everybody to go to GameStops again to get consoles.
yeah, exactly.
So make up your mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Make up your mind, Trevor. Maybe next week. But for this week, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up with that cliffhanger. We'll leave it because we have a play date
that's right.
with beds. So, everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. As we mentioned at the top of the show, if you want to get a hold of us, I would love to hear from you. We'd love to hear dad gaming questions. We'd love to hear dad gaming tips. If you've had a really great experience, if your son beats you in Mario Kart,
Yeah,
or if your son never has and you're a pro like Jeff, we want to hear that story. We want to feature that on the show. So find us at our website, newdadgaming.com. Find us on Twitter and Facebook at newdadgaming. Would love to hear from you. If you like the show, a subscription to the podcast really, really helps us out as we try to reach out to as many dads as possible and try to produce better and better content. You can find the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, any of the major podcasting services. Just search for New Dad Gaming. Subscription really helps, and what helps even more is a rating and a comment so we can hear from you and more folks can find us.
yep.
So until next week, thank you so much for listening. My name is Trevor, and I have a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, maybe a Nintendo gaming watch, maybe a Playdate. Who knows what the future holds?
And I'm Jeff. I have a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and still king of Mario Kart. So I don't know.
best.
Where it's going.
Man, I'm gonna. This is gonna be a Rocky montage. There's gonna be a Rocky montage of me just training for years on
Yep.
Mario Kart to beat you at this. This is a gaming dad challenge.
I think we need to put that together. In our spare time,
And yeah, all this dad gaming time, sure.
just sleeping. So, but yeah,
All right. Remember, folks, just because he became a dad.
does not mean it's game over.
See you next week.
See you later.